going to be Kai versus Raven. It's going to be on Holy Knight's Fortress. Relatively standardish map in 1v1. One of the things to kind of remember about this map is you don't want to forget about the two ghosts on the far sides. A lot of times those can end up getting ignored, just having one servant defending it, and over time that'll generate a lot of mana for the player that owns it. So it's something to just kind of keep in mind. What the heck? I swear I hit play. Okay. Alright, same standard opening as usual, just grab two servants. You spawn at the bottom, so generally I travel along the bottom to this ghost, then this ghost. Oh, what am I doing? Alright, so the reason, because you didn't go that way, let me kind of explain why. The reason I like doing that is because by the time you get up here, you usually will be able to run into a capture unit pretty conveniently, drop it off right here, run over here, and you'll be able to hit another capture unit, drop that off without having to stop, come back here, and you usually clear the servant that they have placed. You can mix it up, but that's the general opening because like these two paths are pretty important. They're what you're usually going to be fighting over. You can fight over the top as well. But these two paths are kind of constantly contested, so that's kind of the place you want to put the most pressure on. How on earth did you both end up at this coast? Okay, not bad placement still. Like stopping the mana flow right here, like that still leaves a lot of ghosts in this path, so definitely not bad still. Unfortunately, yeah, he did end up going and overdriving some of your servants. That's something that's just going to happen sometimes. You can do it to them, but they can do it to you. Yeah, it just kind of sucks. If you notice that they have a habit of doing that, then you can try to like plant maybe your first servant here, your second servant here, then maybe try to like cut them off or something like that. But it just happens sometimes. I think it's a good idea to kind of put some pressure on this candy, specifically because I didn't see any candy coming along the line right here. So as long as you kill this candy and he doesn't have any more coming, you're going to own basically the top. Yeah, I think that's good. And the candy with the capture unit support would probably end up beating your swordsman, I would think. So I think it was a good idea to clear that. Or at least get it weak enough so that your swordsman can kill it, but that's a little bit nitpicking. Nice, I like that you picked that up. Because yeah, oh no, you didn't tell your swordsman to hold. Oh no, dang, that could end up being huge, because if he doesn't notice that you have this ghost and you just hold on to this ghost for like the entire first round or something, that's a huge amount of mana that you'll be stopping him from having. So a bit of a shame, but yeah, try to make sure to tell your swordsman to hold up here, because that could be a very big swing. Again, though, I was saying I like that you pick up your swordsman here, because there's really no reason for him to just stay here like this early into the game. There's no reason for him to stay here and try to defend this ghost when you already have forward ghosts that you're defending. Few candy here. Yeah, this is worth clearing. What I probably would have done when you were taking this path here, I probably would have turned to the right and planted my swordsman right here, come and break this ghost so that there's no ghosts supporting capture units. Yeah, so that there's no ghosts supporting capture units to this ghost, and now this entire half of the map he has no presence on, and then you come back here and you clear these candy like you're doing. Again, like that's two ghosts worth of mana that you'd be constantly denying him for all the time until he goes and deals with it. So that's something you can look to do in the future. Oh, yeah, you got a lot of swordsmen here, so definitely hoping that you pick some of these guys up afterwards. I probably would have picked up a lot more swordsmen than that, because remember at the start of the match how he was able to kill 2 of your swordsmen pretty quickly because he had his super, right? You've got like a group of like 4 or 5 swordsmen there. If he shows up and does that again and kills 4 or 5 swordsmen this early on into the game, that's going to set you back a lot. So whenever you see giant clumps of your units, especially in the early game, really heavily consider picking those up. You're doing good to remember to buy servants with your mana. You're doing really good at that. Something that I would probably notice out of the corner of my eye here is like, oh crap, like he has the entire top middle. I need to start focusing that a little bit more. And since you have a couple of swordsmen over here, you could grab them, or at least grab one of them and maybe do something here. Ideally, you would have grabbed a bunch of these swordsmen, and you would grab the one swordsman here, and then come up here and plant maybe like 3 or 4 swordsmen along this path. That'll give you an opportunity to get a lot of ghosts, which will give you a lot of mana, and that will also stop him from gaining all the mana that he's about to gain for having all of these ghosts. Was that soldier holding still? Okay, yeah, that soldier, he probably should have been advancing to this ghost, or maybe just pick him up as well. Yeah, then you'd have 2 servants in your pocket, break this ghost, come up here, maybe drop a couple servants off here. Something else to notice, if you're looking at the minimap, you can see there's a group of candy right here. Could be worth prioritizing that. In the back of your mind, you can notice that there's 2 candy over here, and know that a third one is a third one is likely on the way, and that your soldier is definitely going to lose this eventually. So you either need to come back here, or advance your troops right here, or do something, because otherwise you're definitely losing that ghost. If you're going to break the ghost like that, again, remember to run into all the capture units along the way here, because that capture unit that you passed that was traveling up here may end up taking it back for him. Same thing with that ghost. Honestly, the map isn't looking too bad for you, especially if you had broken that ghost and ran into the capture units and then done the same to this one. He wouldn't have any ghosts right now, so you would end up getting quite a bit of mana out of that. And I do really like that you did notice that you needed to put some pressure on this middle lane, so I think that was really good. And yeah, lots of candy here. Definitely want to clear these out if you can. Nice. I like that you noticed there's a lot of candy here, so you grab charge stun edge. But even after you like knock those ones down, like turn your attention into like these candy over here and start killing those or something, or force them to stand again. And then this is another situation where you notice that you have a lot of swordsmen here, so hopefully you grab a few swordsmen. Okay. Yeah, we definitely grab some swordsmen here, but maybe you'll remember at the start of the next round, they'll hopefully appear at your Master Ghost because they just spawn at like whatever closest ghost they were at by the end of the round or something like that, I think. So yeah, definitely some servants over here that you can grab. Let's see. So again, whenever you're in a situation where you end up unlocking 2 servants at the same time, that's like a very, very niche situation. You usually only do that if you're like winning by a lot. Otherwise, I would probably just buy the gauntlet body, maybe buy a stack of swordsmen, maybe get an item or a skill or something, save up your mana so that you'll be ready when these gauntlet body release. Because remember, they release a lot faster than an elite. An elite takes 60 seconds, and I believe the non-elite take like 20 seconds. So yeah, like imagine it like this: like by the time you unlock those gauntlet bodies, like it's going to cost 420 mana just to summon a single stack of them. And by the time you summon that first stack, like there's no way you're going to have like enough mana to summon your Quadro Bailiff if you've been pumping out units all the time, right? So just a word of caution to try to avoid unlocking 2 units at once unless like you're very far ahead.
I just remembered that they told me that ranged units is actually the counter for this tribe, and I am so not getting any ranged units before I die.
Ranged units, like they can be good against Raven and Valentine's army, but honestly, your priority should definitely be to get some Gauntlet body out because they're a lot harder to deal with for Raven. It takes him longer to kill them. He is required to use P Blamage to help supplement his army to kill them, and P Blamage are relatively fragile, so you can kind of take them apart. I wouldn't think too much about buying Twin Trigger personally.
Voy a tener que hacer el mío con Batalla. Si no, de Yoinki. De Yoinki. Es el Doeki. Yoink. Existe. Oye, pensé que no, ¿qué es esto? Supongo que sí. El Yoinki. Sí, el Yoinki. Si pudiera hacer mi... ¿Cómo se llama?
Yeah, so a lot of the map control is Donfo's right now. So something to be thinking about is like, maybe I need to like play a little bit more defensively. Tell my 4 servants here to hold, grab these 3, go across the left side of the map, plant one here, and then come down and like clear these units here. Then the left side of the map is no longer under his control, and you're focusing on like the big part of his army.
No, the yoink. Yeah, no, but one of the range units that you have the opportunity to buy with.
Yeah, like definitely don't need 3 of them just kind of defending that ghost. Honestly, you don't even need 2 of them defending that ghost because like this guy is kind of defending a forward ghost anyways, right? So I would grab those 3, plant right here, here, and here, and then show up here to fight. Unfortunately, there are candy here. This is really good. Nice. Yeah, this was a perfect time for anti-melee rod. Very, very good.
Son bien situacionales, pero esta es una de las situaciones. Ya. Put them in situations. Yo con los gays.
Yeah, I do think Quadro Bailiff is good. Like again, there's no wrong elite to get, but I think Quadro Bailiff is gonna have a hard time helping you come back. If you need to make a comeback, I think you're better off going with Convict Hammer or Heaven's Libra. Convict Hammer is a little bit easier to use just because he's so tanky and fighting around him is really strong, and he is really strong, and he's an armor unit, so he's already pretty good against Valentine Raven's servants. Heaven's Libra kind of requires you to take the onus on yourself more, where you bring the Heaven's Libra around wherever you go and you clear large groups of servants. But when you're behind by this much, I feel like if you were to try to do that, you would also have to worry about Donfo showing up everywhere you go and forcing a master fight. And since he's playing Raven, that could be difficult. So I would still kind of debate between those 2 more so than Quadro Bailiff, just because Quadro Bailiff, while he is a strong unit and a strong bodyguard, I don't think he really helps you come back here. That's just my opinion personally, though. Again, there is kind of no wrong unit because Quadro Bailiff is still a great unit.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so good, chat, I'm good. Trust. Manifest, everyone in the chat, manifest.
Let me see that one more time. So you send both these servants out to these 2 ghosts, right? But the reason to do that is because you're going to go support them, or you think they can win on their own. So you saw that there were a lot of enemy servants right here that 3 swordsmen definitely cannot beat. So you need to show up and help right here. And this ghost is unknown, but because it's his most forward advancing ghost, you've got to assume that he's got at least 3 candy here, and 3 candy with a defense buff with capture unit support. They probably have some experience on them as well. Your swordsmen are probably going to lose that fight as well. So what I would do instead is I would probably send one of these groups to either the left ghost or the right hand ghost, and then leave the other servants to defend my master ghost because he has 2 ghosts next to your master ghost. You know you're vulnerable, right?
Everyone in the chat manifest. Sorin has to win this. Everyone manifest. DDoS attack to Donfo right now.
Yeah, this. So, okay, so You ran in by yourself to a ghost that is full of enemy servants and the enemy master, and all you have on you is a Quadro Bailiff. This is probably a fight that you do not want to take. Yeah.
Yes, wait. Oh my god, it's such a bad situation here. Accidental organ opener, you did not see that.
That's not to say that it can't work. You could possibly kill him here, which would be good, but think about it like this. Even in the best case scenario where you kill him, you don't really have a servant that you can leave here to take over the ghost anyways, right? This is gonna be his ghost pretty much no matter what. And while you're doing this, you've got servants over here that need your help and are dying, and then you've already sent out servants here that need your help right here, or they will probably die as well.
Manifest. Okay, ciao. Esta es mi idea. Oh, no, un gusto. No.
And then, yeah, this is kind of worst case scenario is you die, and then your Quadro Bailiff is right here, and what he could do right now is like, oh yeah, I remember Sorin dropped that Quadro Bailiff when he stopped to fight me right here. I'm gonna go kill the elite unit for free now, kind of thing.
Goddamn. Oh, que me tienen chuteado, que tienen acá.
I totally understand panicking and making a bad call in a situation like that, though. Like, we've all done that before.
Entonces, si yo tiro a cualquier lane, me las va a agarrar. Entonces tengo que ser inteligente. O intentar ser inteligente. Tengo que arrancarme de los ghosts que ya están tomados.
Nice. I like this a lot. Oh, nice, and you get rewarded with a chest. Nice. I like that. I would go break this middle ghost, then I would show up here to help my swordsman. Unfortunately, though, like I was talking about earlier, you kind of sent these 3 swordsmen out, and not only do they die, but because they were being attacked by those enemy units were gaining EXP off of that as well. So just another reason to kind of not feed your servants like that. Very nice. Probably don't need to stick him there just because you already have the surrounding ghosts for the most part. Like, I think your swordsmen are gonna win this fight as well, so you probably don't need to stick the swordsman here, but it's fine. He can defend it. Again though, yeah, try to avoid feeding your servants like this. What the?
There will be more.
I got it. Sorry, I gotta see that again. Wham!
Thank you. Oh, no sé cómo estoy vivo. Está fuerte.
Ooh, lots of mana. Okay, so it's good that you have lots of mana so you can summon some powerful units and stuff, but because you're behind by so much, definitely gotta kind of keep in mind to play a little bit defensively here, right? So on the bright side, you do have the right-hand side of the map under your control. Maybe stack up some units over here, break off a couple of units, plant one here, and have them just hold those ghosts so that Donfo can't easily drop on them. And then you can try to make your comeback from there. It's going to be hard for him to push into your Master Ghost unless he has capture cannons. As I say that, I am double checking. Do you get capture cannons on night? You do, right? Okay, yeah, so you can get capture cannons on night. They're not in the primary item tab, so they are harder to get. He has to be cycling through the second item tab in order to get them, but it is a possibility, so it is something you have to be worried about, but not a lot of people know to cycle through the item tab for the capture cannons, so I wouldn't be too worried about it here. But yeah, you definitely want to focus on maintaining the right-hand control of the map, being present if he does start to push your Master Ghost, and maybe taking the time to like plant a servant or two here and there. Maybe you get the chance to win a fight or something. I'd probably carry Quadro Bailiff on me, especially for this too. What the? Yeah, unfortunately, a fight like this, I mean, it's possible he doesn't show up and interrupt you, but I think I would focus on playing, like, it is going to be a little bit difficult to clear this out, especially if he comes. There's basically going to be no way to win the fight here. So instead of focusing on this, I'd focus on, like, dropping some units across the map on undefended ghosts.
Where are you going? No me agarró el...
Yeah, I'd probably grab that gauntlet body and run. he he is he's cooked.
Y aquí no tengo poder del juego, porque ahora lo que tendría que estar tratando de hacer es tomarme ghosts que estén lejos, pero esto si lo dejo estar me va a ganar también, entonces no.
Oh, tiene todas las unidades acá, Dios mío.
Sí, no,
Yeah,
yo
so
tampoco porque
unfortunately, while
tengo
you're doing this, he's taken over the entire right side of the map, right? Like you had four ghosts right here, and you could be defending this ghost. I think I would prioritize that instead, personally.
si no la pesco, me va a ganar. Ay, no hay una presión grande. Oh, mira, Calvito.
Yeah, grab your Quadra Bailiff,
Mira,
come back here.
mira, y se fue, y se ríen encima de la unidad, y hacen, se ríen. Y se la llevó encima. Oh, ¿qué es?
Just something random that I didn't think to mention earlier, but yeah, it's probably good to carry a Dispel on you just in case, especially because you're fighting Raven, who has pretty good skills.
Espérate. Evil, mira, me dejó sin nada.
But I understand that mana is tight right now.
99, 95. Tiene 20 de mana. Exploté. I'm so good right now. Chao, chao, vete. Good.
Oh, you did get that ghost.
Uy, no puedo dejar a ninguno cerca.
Wait. Huh? Isn't he at your Master Ghost? You just run away from your Master Ghost?
Uy, no puedo dejar a ninguno cerca. Mira.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, your soldiers are like, come back, defend the Master Ghost, for God's sake.
I'm so chat. I'm so good.
La pelea. God damn. Y ya tiene otra. Ah, bueno, la había matado igual. Vicio.
Es que se la llevó, se la llevó en el bolsillo.
Se la puede
Yeah, I
llevar
mean
por
this is
el boss.
this is a tough situation. You got enough mana for a stack of swordsmen. You could hope for the best. You could hopefully kill him, wipe out his elites, maybe.
Esa sí.
¿En el bolsillo?
No,
Ah.
no, las Armor Units no puedes. Esa estaría muy raro.
But this is this is a tough fight for sure.
No, yo creo que eso está medio raro.
Oh, hello, Nikki. Oh no.
Yeah, it's me.
Oh no, I'm so good. Oh, but you know, the last match I tried harder. I won. I survived harder, but this one. I can train. GG. So, oh my god, I had no goals. I had nothing.
GG's. Yeah, that was a fun one. Again, honestly, I think there was definitely some points where you were actually ahead by quite a bit. I don't remember exactly where it was, but yeah, like right here, like this is actually pretty good position for you. At the very least, like maintaining an even playing field with Raven at least would be good because you're going to scale into the late game better than him simply by virtue of Kai's units being stronger. But you're actually ahead in this situation, and I think you could have gotten even more ahead as well. So yeah, some of the early stuff that I was talking about of like trying to make sure whenever you're around a group of your own units, grab a few of them and plant them across the map and stuff. I think stuff like that, honestly, I think you would have probably dominated the first round and had a very strong lead going into the second round. Just try not to let your units group up too much, especially in the early game. That's what I would say is my biggest takeaway from this one.